Here it is, folks. The 2025 debut of No Ticket Required. Hit my music. And Mr. Cruz in the chat saying, Jeebus, Ryan, that's what you need. And I've also been, and Desi saying, can you ever say too much? You don't have to say anything at all. Name that movie. Name that movie.
Oh man, I can't name it. I'm falling all over myself right now.
Hot Fuzz. All right.
Oh, okay.
It's towards the end of the movie.
The Coronado trilogy.
Yes, the best of the best movie of the Cornetto trilogy.
Cornetto, yeah,
AKA the Blood and Ice Cream trilogy.
Yeah, I might have to disagree with you. I give it the nod to Shaun of the Dead, but I will admit that at World's End, not great. That one, they lost the plot with that one.
Yeah, that was not their best effort. I think they kind of milled that one in. I think.
Yeah.
If there's a movie that needs a redo, it's The World's End. That's for sure. All right, we are beginning the 2025 No Ticket Required movie review series with the 2014 Draft Day. Draft Day starring Kevin Costner, also including. Let's see let's look at this cast of this movie.
Jennifer Garner's in it.
Jennifer Garner, swoon.
Chadwick Boseman.
Hey, Jennifer Garner, how you doing?
Chadwick
Boseman, Frank Langella, Chad McBride, Chris Berman, who is going to basically be actually, did you see that Chris Berman signed for another 4 years at ESPN?
Oh wow, no.
He'll be there for their 50th.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. That's what he wanted in his contract. And I gotta wonder how much he's got in Disney stock.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Chadwick Boseman, Frank Langella, who played Skeletor in the live-action Masters of the Universe. Your usual cast of characters in terms of the draft, like Chris Berman, Mel Kiper, John Gruden, Deion Sanders, Mike Mayock. Also in this movie, Arian Foster, who played in the NFL for a few seasons with the Houston Texans.
Yeah. And then you got Dennis Leary.
Dennis Leary as Coach Penn. Yes, absolutely.
And then someone who has been in the news who we won't mention here.
No. Let's just say this was not the type of party we expected in this movie. But let's talk about this movie, Dustin. Let me get your thoughts about Draft Day. I've never seen Draft Day until last night after I had my steak dinner, had a couple beers in me. I'm good to go. It's a Monday night before I go back to work. I'm saying to myself, all right, let's watch this movie. So I put on Netflix, Draft Day's on. Let's talk about this movie, Dustin. Let's give your thoughts about when you saw it first, and then give me some of your thoughts as you watched the movie.
Okay, so as we discussed, this is not my first time seeing this movie. I had seen it many years ago, probably around the time that it first came out, maybe 6-7 months after, because as I've mentioned on the show, my dearly departed mom had a massive thing for Kevin Costner. So she would watch anything with Kevin Costner in it. He didn't even have to be the lead guy. She wanted to watch Man of Steel, and I'm like, why? And then I remembered Kevin Costner plays Pa Kent. There's a scene in that movie that has been memed to death. Figure it out. But I first watched this movie with my mom, and I remember thinking back then that it was a little cheesy, but I was like, hey, I can deal with it. You know, there's some moments in this movie. But on my second rewatch, I really had problems with this movie. I really had problems, and I couldn't put my finger on why, but I think I figured it out, Ryan. Given a couple days to reflect, because I watched this thing on Saturday night before the big row. I was like, I want to do something to relax before, get my head right. So I watched Draft Day. And I think the reason that I had problems with this movie, more problems, because you got to suspend disbelief. That's part of a movie. You got to suspend things. But the reason that I had such a problem is because we watched, what did we review last year, right before the football season? Hard Knocks off season.
Mhm.
What process does that detail? The NFL draft process.
Of
So
course.
then when you start watching draft day, you're just like, oh my God, this is so over the top. So it brought back a memory of watching this with mom. And now you know why I kept referencing pancakes before our review. You know the line, you know exactly what happens. But so my favorite part to open this movie, it set the tone for my whole review. Seahawks headquarters, they get a call. They go to get their GM. His eyes are wide open when the guy opens the door, and then he shuts them again to make it look like he's tired and sleeping. So I'm like, oh man, here we go. Here we go. So, but I had forgotten that Chadwick Boseman plays Vontae Mack. He does a good job, a good performance, because I always liked Chadwick Boseman, especially you found out how sick he was doing a lot of his final movies. Massive respect to Chadwick, but I think Jennifer Garner is the best performance in this movie and the most believable performance. The rest of this is so over the top and heavy-handed. Let me go through the thing. So within the first 20 minutes, even less, it was like 17 minutes, Kevin Costner, aka Sonny Weaver Jr., has already been threatened with firing. And there's already been protests, and the radio hosts are getting on him, and he's got the phone call from the Seahawks GM trying to quote unquote fleece him, all within 17 minutes, and his hand is shaking from the stress. It's the only time his hand shakes the entire movie, but he's stressed to the max. So then you got the head coach coming in, and he lights the playbook on fire because he's pissed at the GM and he starts a fire in his office and throws it on the desk. Who acts like this? The coach is like, you hired me to coach this roster. And Leary keeps flashing his one Super Bowl ring. Usually the way he references them, he acted like he won 7 of them. No, he has 1. And he's like, you hired me to get one of these. And he's like, my wife did not want to come to this jackwagon of a city, Cleveland. We could have gone anywhere else, but I chose this team to coach Brian Drew at quarterback, who might have a bum knee. We're not sure, but he's in the best shape of his life. And then Chadwick Boseman is like, you could tell that one Vontae Mack is the player that Kevin Costner, aka Sonny Weaver, really wants to draft. But then when he gets wind, apparently the Browns organization cannot keep anything under wraps because the media is all over this potential trade to get Bo Callahan. So then Chadwick Boseman calls him up, and not seemingly, he does it. The GM takes advice from his draft pick, and he's like, let's review the footage. Let's review this footage. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. So, okay, here's the things that I liked about this movie. I did like when Sonny Jr. corrects the coach and calls him out and asks him to treat his father's name with respect. That was like a genuine moment. I bought that. But then the QB trashes the office, Brian Drew, because he's mad, he's emotional, but he goes in, trashes his GM's office. How is no one stopping this? Also, this movie came out 2014. The iPhone was unveiled in 2007. Did Apple not give Draft Day the rights? Did they not give Ivan Reitman the rights to use iPhones? Because what are they using? Like some weird BlackBerry version looking of things.
Hey, I had a BlackBerry. I had a BlackBerry. You besmirched the BlackBerry.
I'm not besmirching it.
If there's one phone I can have back, it would be a BlackBerry.
Yeah, I mean, they were good phones. I'm not besmirching it, but I just found it crazy that like 7 years after the iPhone comes out, it's conspicuously absent from this movie.
Well, I think that's when movies didn't really utilize the iPhone. You see it a lot more. It's a lot more prevalent now because Apple pays consideration
product placement
for in different movies. Same thing with Samsung. I reckon Google is probably doing the same thing with their phones too. But in those days, you didn't really think about it. and that's why you have the old those phones that have the old ring that and the beep when you hang up.
Yeah.
They probably didn't have product placement back then, or it wasn't
Yeah, probably
really
not.
didn't really get the play that it does today.
Fair point. I will give you that. But I will say, I like the Sam Elliott cameo as a college coach. Always nice to see Sam Elliott. But Allie, aka Jennifer Gardner, is the only adult in the room in this movie. The rest of the people in this movie are children, and they conduct themselves as such. The whole movie, I felt bad for her. I'm like, man, she's got to deal with all these children. And then to top it all off, his mom comes in on draft day and wants him to spread the ashes on the field. I'm like, what is going on in this Browns organization? Even in the fictional setting
even in fictional movies, they're terrible.
It's in disarray. It's all over the map. And then the last thing, so hats off to Jennifer Gardner in this movie, although when she randomly screams, "Get Putney," and he's like, all right, immediately, let's get Putney. That's another thing. But the scene with the Jacksonville GM, him being that flustered and like caught off guard, and he's about to get how did he even get a job? This is the whole movie is so unbelievable, and the whole scene where Anthony Weaver, the fictional owner of the Browns, he throws the jersey on the ground because he can't give it to Bo Callahan, and he's like, "You tell Sonny that I will be in his face within the hour," and then he comes back and Sonny does Sonny, he hustles on the phone, he's working it, and then the owner's just like, "You got some set of balls, Sonny." He goes from ready to fire him I just can't. I mean, I watched it. It was okay, but I'm just like, this whole thing is woefully inaccurate and over the top. I think if I hadn't watched Hard Knocks off season last year, I would have been able to suspend my disbelief a little bit more. But Ryan, I've rambled on far too long. And I hope you have a more positive impression of this movie. It was your first ride.
Yes.
What did you think?
Let's go to the comment section first. Playmaker stopping by saying, "No cred, bros."
What's up, Playmaker? Great to see you.
And Desi's saying this is just a representation of the actual Browns organization. These are facts. These are facts.
Yeah.
Our cred heads know they're smart people.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think I can, maybe it's just me. I don't know if you have the same feeling, but I think I can suspend disbelief. I have a better feeling of suspending disbelief than you do, because I'm not sure if you're a little bit, you said that the off-season Hard Knocks kind of, I didn't say ruined the experience for you, but it made you look at things in a different light, especially in organizations, because this doesn't happen at all. I mean, I looked at the facts or the trivia for this movie on IMDb, and no, you don't see 3 first-round picks getting traded for the number 1 overall pick a whole lot anymore.
Yeah, but that wasn't my whole. That wasn't part of my issue. I didn't have a problem with that.
No, because it's a fictional. It's fiction.
Yeah.
And actually, from IMDb, it stated that this trade was kind of based on the Washington Redskins trade that they made with the Rams to get
the
Robert
RG3.
RG3.
Yeah,
RG3, and. Yeah, you got to really suspend disbelief. You kind of see the give and take between Kevin Costner and Jennifer Gardner in the film. Jennifer Gardner, swoon. How you doing? I like tall women. I can't help it.
Yeah, I got you. Well, you're a tall guy. You're not a short person like me. Compared to me, you're a giant, Ryan.
I'm average. Okay, yeah. I'm or slightly above average in my height, but But yes, she was. You're definitely right in saying that she was definitely the adult in the room when it came to this organization. Between the owner, all constantly wearing sunglasses and trying to be
all the time.
Gotta make a splash. Oh yeah. Gee, I wonder who he took that from. Oh, I don't know. It's a certain New York. There's a certain owner in New York that likes to make a splash when it comes to player signings in the draft.
But does he take his GM to a water park, Ryan, to make the metaphor?
No, because he doesn't own a water park. He's a pharmaceutical heir. That's why. Doesn't take him to the medicine factory.
Yeah.
But I mean, I enjoyed this movie. One of the reasons why I enjoyed this movie, it was fast paced. I like when it can keep. Yeah, unlike some of the movies we watched in this series, in No Ticket Required, some of them have been very slow.
King Richard, King Richard is going to be perpetually at the bottom of the list for you, always.
I mean, Boys in the Boat was also a little bit.
Oh slow. Yeah, that one, that movie, yeah.
That's on your sister, by the way.
I know, and she apologized for it. You know, she was like the Canadian government. She apologized for Brian Adams.
I'm sorry. But that's the one cool thing about this movie is it just kept going. It was action packed. It moved from Seattle to Cleveland to Jacksonville to Buffalo to Houston. It's like, hey, what do you think about this guy? Because this takes you through. I mean, it's a fictional adaptation of what draft day kind of seems like. You got teams trying to move up and down the board. You got teams looking at specific. You got teams looking at specific players who they want players. You got got GMs calling up other GMs saying, "Hey, what do you think about this guy?" I don't know. What do you think about this guy? It's just, and you got coaches having disagreements with their GMs. Although the come to Jesus moment for Coach Penn in this movie was probably that pick that trade to get when he, spoiler alert, they wound up picking Vontae Mack anyway instead of Bo Callahan.
Yep.
And you see Bo storm out Radio City Music Hall. By the way, bring the draft back to Radio City Music Hall.
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
Please. None of this touring. We're going to go on locate. We're going to go on the road. No, it's not as fun. It's not as fun as Radio City Music Hall where it's all close together. You got you got fans of different sorts coming in, but it's just so much fun. And actually the I was reading the fun facts the trivia on IMDb. And this movie, instead of the Browns, it was supposed to be the New York Jets.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
But that's why I was thinking about this movie. I'm like, okay, you had the Bills, you got the Browns, the Texans, the Jaguars, the Seahawks. Yeah. Which was kind of weird at first to me. I'm like, the Seahawks?
I know.
Never had the number one pick. And when I saw who had the number one pick, I'm like, yeah, this is definitely a fictional movie.
No, yeah. They haven't had the number one pick in ever. I can't. Not since I've been following the team. I can't remember.
No, I don't remember. I don't think the Seahawks have ever had a number one draft pick, have they?
But I mean, Tom, whatever his name is, the fictional GM in this movie, he was intimidated by the cadre of 20 Seahawks fans looking to hang him outside the parking lot.
So the Seahawks have never held the first overall pick in the NFL draft. Not even when they were an expansion team.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's just funny that with the exception of the Seahawks, every team represented in this movie, the Browns, the Texans, the Bills, the Jaguars.
Yeah.
I would say that loosely the Chiefs were bottom feeders in the NFL in 2014 when this movie came out. We don't think of the Bills or the Chiefs and even the Texans now as relatively bad teams anymore, but the Jaguars are perpetually bad. The Browns have been perpetually bad since their reboot in 1999.
Yeah.
So it's just yeah, of course. But going through this movie, thinking about this movie, yeah, it's really strange that why your mother would call on the day of the draft to find out that Vontae Mack had tweeted, they just traded the number one pick to the Seahawks just traded the number one pick to the Browns. I'm sad face.
Yeah.
How do you know about this, Mom? You're on Twitter? What? Ellen Burstyn, who's 80 years old in that movie. I'm on Twitter. No, the boomers are on Facebook, Mom.
Yeah, which I feel like when that movie came out, Twitter was only like, I want to say 4 years old, because I think Twitter was like
No.
2010, something like that.
Twitter.
Twitter, we'll have to see. When did old Jack Dorsey or whatever his name is originally fire Twitter up? But yeah, I don't know. And they went to Action Park.
2006.
Okay, 2006. Oh, I was off.
But Facebook came around the same time. Remember MySpace?
Oh yeah, I remember.
We'll talk about MySpace a little bit later too, because
I had music
documentary
on there, man. Music.
I did too. Well, I didn't have music. I played music, but I didn't have music.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, there's a lot of plot holes, you have to suspend a lot of disbelief, because nobody trades 3 first-round picks anymore. Nobody trades 3 second-round picks anymore to get the number 6 pick to get the number 7 pick in the draft, to come back into the first round, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get fleeced early in the day, then you fleece the GM who you traded these picks to, and get a supplemental pick.
Yeah, you get David Putney on special teams.
No, it's not David Putney. It's David G.D. Putney on kick returner.
That was when the intern's like, I love when you said that. And he just laughs. He's like, I was pissed.
Like, what? How'd you make that trade? I was angry.
Yes.
And also the fact that the owner of the team, Anthony Molina, somehow flies back from New York City to Cleveland in a span of an hour and a half.
Yeah. And he says, you tell him I will be in his face within the hour.
Is that's not possible unless you're flying at like a certain. Let's say the Concorde, all right? Which Concorde is no longer in existence. Although I heard they're trying to bring it back. Good. Oh
man,
that's cool. You could be in France in 2 hours. That's pretty cool. But yeah, this movie had its flaws. This movie had its pluses. I think the fast-paced action made it enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
But there were so many curveballs that got thrown while this movie was going on. The mom marched into the office and saying, I want to place your dad's ashes at the 50-yard line. Then you come to find out that Sonny Weaver Jr. fired his dad because his mom wanted him to.
Yes.
Like, what is up with that?
And Sonny took the hit.
For it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, right now, draft day is number 1 by default.
Yes.
In terms of our ranking.
Yes, it is.
Because it's the only movie we reviewed so far. But next weekend is the Belmont Stakes in Saratoga. So next week we're going to review Seabiscuit. Another recommendation by your sister.
Yep. We're gonna see.
We'll be reviewing that movie next week because the Belmont Stakes going to be in Saratoga next week. I think this is the last year they'll have it before it goes back to Long Island in 2026 because the new track is being built next to UBS Arena. So yeah, we'll be reviewing that. We'll be reviewing Seabiscuit. We want you to join in the chat. Whether or not you like horse racing or horse movies, well, feel free to join us. And before we get to our commercial break, go visit the comments section. Mr. Cruz of Time to BS saying, Dustin, does Ryan look like Bubba Ray Dudley's secret brother, Rubber Ray Budley? Rubber Ray Rudley?
I mean, there's a little bit of resemblance there. I guess I could see it. Maybe Ryan's been moonlighting in wrestling for years. We don't know. We don't know for sure.
It's funny. I considered the pro wrestling thing for back in my early 20s. It was like, because one of my friends was like, he noted how strong I was, even though I didn't lift weights. I was still pretty strong. I still am.
Yeah.
Like I took one of those big 5-gallon water bottles you see in the machines and in the aisles. I took it and I just lifted it up like no problem. He's like, dude, you're strong. I'm like, I know. I'm farmer strong.
I know.
I know. You also asked me, did Ryan have a thing for China? No, I was more of a Trish Stratus girl. Yeah, even though she was a shorter queen, like Trish Stratus was my jam. Although Stacy Keibler was also my jam too.
Yeah. Stacy Keibler, Trish Stratus, and honorable mention to Lita for me. Yeah,
Lita. Mm-hmm.
Lita. Anytime she did the backflip off the top, I was like, "This is awesome."
Yeah, Tori Wilson too. Yeah, that was another one. Also says they went to Action Park.
That is a great reference, sir. That is a great reference. I expect nothing less from you.
In the great state of New Jersey. Does he saying, Ryan, hey Jennifer, how you doing, little mama? And Jennifer swoons because Ryan's a boss player. It's the beard.
I misread that. I thought it said bass player.
I thought you said I read it as bass player too. I'm like, I don't play bass.
Yeah.
I want to learn to play drums though. Ton of BS saying highest pick the Seahawks ever had was second Notre Dame quarterback Rick Meyer in 1993.
Okay.
Number one overall pick. I think it was Drew Bledsoe who was the number one.
I think so
pick.
for the Pats. Yeah, back then.
Yep, it was Drew Bledsoe. Yep, of the Bill Parcells. No, was it Bill Parcells the coach? No, he wasn't. He wasn't because it was Don McPherson who was the coach, I think.
Oh, okay.
Hector from insert name FC joining us, saying the Hector Flores saying the guy whose job was to find dirty laundry on players was annoying.
Oh yeah, when he's like, "Ask me what happened."
Ask me what happened. What happened?
I'm tired of playing this game with you.
Nobody came to his 21st birthday party.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, but that is one of the scenes I liked when he says the thing to his team, and they're like, "There's nothing on Bo Callahan. There's nothing bad on Bo Callahan." And then he says, "Hey, look, people didn't like Montana's footwork. People didn't think Peyton Manning had the arm. There's got to be something, you know."
People thought John Elway's arm was too strong.
Yep. So that's I did like that.
Oh yeah, and the scene where the private detective or whatever he was, the guy. I don't know if he was a private detective or just a guy who just did background work. Talking about the $100 bill in the back of the playbook.
Yeah,
that was a reference to DeMarcus Russell.
Oh,
Jamarcus Russell. Teams would put $100 bill. I think it was the Redskins who put $100 bill on the back of the playbook, and to see if he actually read through the playbook, and he lied to them.
yeah. Jamarcus had a cannon for an arm, but no shade. He was not reading playbooks. He was not watching film.
No, I can throw a 60-yard ball sitting down. Good for you. Does he say my husband has a Topps Rick Meyer rookie card? It's a reflective card.
Oh, nice.
Solid. Chelsea says you can fly to from London to New York and land before you ever took off. It's true.
Only on Anthony Molina's plane.
Yeah, only on Anthony Molina's like gyro jet. Playmaker saying Trish Stratus, yes.
Yeah. I think a whole generation of men of a certain age would agree with you, Playmaker, and I'm one of them.
Yeah, and Mr. Cruz saying Parcells is the Patriots coach in 93. I couldn't remember if it was 93 or if we started in 93 or 94. 1993 New England Patriots.
Yeah, because I can't remember when Pete Carroll coached the Patriots either.
Pete Carroll came after Parcells.
Yeah, because Carroll was on the Jets first, right? He coached the Jets.
Carroll coached the Jets in 94 during the infamous Spike game. And yes, you are correct. Parcells was the head coach in 1993. And Playmaker saying he'll get the last word before we do our ad read. Sorry, all I heard was Trish. Yes, Patricia Stratiogis, I think her name.
Yeah, something like that. I got to go watch her A&E Legends biography again. That was a great series.
Yeah, they were revealing a lot of the real names of the wrestlers in the Mr. McMahon documentary. But yeah, John Cena's real name is John Cena. Randy Orton.
Yeah, Randy Orton. Yeah.
All right, so this has been the first edition of No Ticket Required.